Hey guys, it's me. Oh, hello cat. Right in my way. Um, this is kind of a weird setup I have right now. Because usually when I record videos, I put the microphone like over here on the ottoman. Excuse the cough. And it's too far away because I had to back it up so you could see the box. So it's kind of a weird setup. You might hear me moving around, like when I move around. Because where I have the microphone, like every time I move, I think it picks up the noise. But this one, I'm gonna ramble a little bit. While I do this, I'm gonna try and make, I don't know, like a 20 to 30 minute video in this one. Towards the end, I'm probably gonna sing a little bit. It's not the most relaxing song, but I talked about that in my last update. That I want to do songs that aren't necessarily relaxing because like they have a nice tune. And I think this one comes out relatively well when I sing it. So if you guys like it, I'll record it with the ukulele, as I call it, and make another sleepy serenades, because that's what I called it. Oh, I thought my cat was eating my sandwich. He is not. So I guess I'll get started and first talk about the box. What I did first for this is I made vertical braids, because this isn't even knit or anything, it's just a braid like you'd do in hair. So I did vertical braids in the entire box, and then the top two flaps, I only have the long waist flaps. I cut off the short waist flaps because I'm making this like a box to hold things, and it was going to be more complicated if I left the short waist flaps in, so I took them off. So after I did these, I attached to this braid, and then tied that on there. Now what I'm doing, and to make these, I'll just show you with this. I would take string, go up, go down, and that's this right here would be the length I need for the braid. And up top, because it's so short, you need to leave a lot of extra. So that would be the length of the braid right there, or what you would need for the braid. So now I'm just kind of going around the box horizontally. So what's going on with that is, well, see, this is an attachment from one braid to another right here. And first I braid it and then I weave it through. So I'll show you guys how that works once I get to that point. I don't really know what to ramble about right now, but I don't want to start singing yet. I mean, it's a punk song, well, acoustic folk punk song. It's actually by the Anorexic Olsen Twin. Yeah, that's the band. I thought it was asking for it for a second because it's the same guy, but it's the Anorexic Olsen Twin, and they're Australian. And no one really knows about them, but I made a friend through YouTube because I liked the band, and he was the only one who had their music posted. So I messaged him, and then we started talking, and that was like, I could say like 5-6 years ago, and we didn't talk for a while, but now we're talking again like every day, and I absolutely love it. Like, he has like no self-confidence, even though he's really cool. So I try and like say, yeah, go for it, you're awesome, I'm your cheerleader. Because like there's this whole thing going on with this girl, and he's like scared. Well, not scared, but like nervous because he has no self-confidence. So, oh, my phone made a noise somewhere. So I try and just give him confidence. I hope my phone is not where I think it is, because then that totally ruined this video. But yeah, I think a lot of great people have low self-confidence or self-esteem, whatever. I mean, people tell me I'm great sometimes, and I really don't believe them. And like at work yesterday, I was at the cash registers checking these two guys out, and we always start our spiel with, can we get your email? And they were like, I don't know, can we get your number? And I just kind of froze and didn't know what to do, not because, like, we're not supposed to do anything or say anything, but because I wanted to be polite, but I really didn't believe them that, like, I was pretty or anything. So, I mean, having said, I kind of looked like a prostitute yesterday because I got called into work, and I thought this cardigan I just got would look good with this dress, but it looked awful. So I had to tie a crop top over the top of the dress to wear it because it was a halter top, but that just, like, I guess accentuated whatever curves I may have. And then I had on, and the dress kept coming up and wouldn't stay at the appropriate length, so I gave up on trimming it down eventually, and so it was super short. And then, of course, I had my favorite shoes on, which are my really high-heeled black leather boots. And, like, my makeup was smashing. So, like, I felt like I put together a good outfit, but not like I was actually pretty, if that makes sense. So when they said that, I was like, well, what do? I don't want to be rude and decline your compliment, but I don't believe you. So I kind of just awkwardly laughed, and that was the end of it. But on the topic of the box, though, see, this is what you do. You get to the very end of the braid until you can't really braid anymore, and you tie your next piece on, and then you're going to weave it through, and I'll show you that right now. It's just simple under over. Wait, that's, okay, yeah. I'm confusing myself because it was the opposite under over before, but something happened because I messed up putting the vertical braids in, so it switched, and now it's confusing me, but I got it. This one's not gonna turn out as well as I had planned, just because this is my first time making one of these, so I haven't perfected it, but I'm sure any of you crafty folk out there, she's crafty. That was a Beastie Boys reference, I'm sure, like, no one got that, because I'm a loser. But, yeah, I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. Anyone who does, like, DIY a lot would probably be able to figure out how to make this bottom section better so the box doesn't show. Having said, I used a very colorful box, so it's not the end of the world that you can kind of see it at the bottom, because you can't see, like, any of the actual, like, print or advertising. So, oh no. Okay, there we go. So after you weave it through, because it's going to go crooked, you're going to push it, or at least it always is crooked on me. You're going to push it back down so it's, oh my goodness, so it's even with the braid before it. There might be a little bit of space if you switch which is under and which is over for some reason. I don't know why it does that, but at the end you can squish more in. I know this because when I lived in Indiana, there was a children's museum. And if you've ever seen whatever stupid Christmas movie that is, where the kid looks at the pole and gets his tongue stuck, at one point he goes to visit Santa and Santa kicks him down the slide. That's the children's museum in Indiana, I believe. At least it really looked like it, because every Christmas one of the stairways would become a slide and you'd go visit Santa, and then you'd get a candy cane and go down the slide, and it was the best. That one time at that children's museum, they had, like, these little things kids could crawl through and explore, and there were 3 of them. Well, I kept going through one of them, but I then randomly decided I wanted to go through another one. But I didn't tell my dad that, and they couldn't find me. So they locked down the entire museum for 45 minutes at least because they couldn't find me. I was like, I was chilling in a science exhibit. It's okay. I'm not dead. Yeah, I love that museum. And I recorded this video already, but I didn't like the way it turned out exactly, so I'm recording it again. But I know some of what I said in the last video that I wanted to talk about. Because in the Children's Museum, they had this thing. What is that noise? Oh, it's my soda, I think. Yeah, at the Children's Museum, in one of the exhibits, they had a loom that, like, the machine that they used to make clothes on, and, like, they'd already have, this is kind of like making thread, because thread is, like, really, really, really tiny pieces come together, so it's really more than one piece of thread when you say thread. So that part's already done, but then this part, and like this would already be braided or whatever, the up and down part that's weaving is what you could do on this loom, and like it was like anyone could use it because it was a replica, and I loved it so much that my mom got me a mini loom for Christmas one year, and I just did not want to give it up. Why are there socks over here? Yeah, I loved that stupid loom. Like, so I'm trying to not hit the microphone with the string, and I'm not being super successful at this point, because I want you guys to be able to see the box, but I'm running out of room. But yeah, at that Children's Museum, they had so many cool exhibits. I believe it was actually King Tut I saw, because this was back when it was way back. I was like 6, and now I'm almost 20, so yeah, I think it was King Tut back when he was still allowed to travel the world, and they had an Egyptian exhibit, and that was the first time I'd really seen a mummy, which is pretty much just looking at a dead body if people think about it, but I just thought it was the coolest thing, and I sat there for like a good 15 minutes just staring at the mummy, and then I started to like the culture of ancient Egypt too, and I studied it, and I used to be able to read and write basic hieroglyphics, because I learned it. I totally forgot all of it, though. But yeah, that exhibit made me want to be an Egyptologist for a while, but then I realized most of the mummies have already been discovered. Most of what's going on is just, like, confirming theories, and that's not what I'm all about. So I changed my life path, but then I think, because I wanted to be a mortician at one point, so that's probably where that came from, is that exhibit. But another exhibit they had that I loved was the one from the Titanic. And again, I was just amazed. And I went through that exhibit like 3 times, and when you went through it, you got a piece of paper that said, like, someone's name on it who was on the Titanic. And at the end of the exhibit, you found out if you lived or died. And, of course, I ended up with a butler, so I died. And my mom ended up with, like, some rich lady, so, of course, she survived. I was like, that's not fair, it's so mean. But, you know, I was, like, 3 at the time. It's weird that I could comprehend, like, these concepts at such a young age, yet I still can't do math. Like, I can do basic math better than some of my managers at work when it comes to, like, the cash registers and everything. Like, I know 4 pennies plus a nickel is always 9. Like, 4 plus 5 is 9. So, like, when I already have a 5, or $5 bill, or 5 cents, I know that 4 more equals 9 automatically, and I don't have to sit there thinking about it, or, like, count really, as long as it would take to count the other way. But, like, if you ask me to do, like, geometry or algebra, I'd be like, you're funny. That's not happening. Yeah, like, I suck at math. I hope you guys can see this still, because this is long ways now, standing, but that's the side I'm on, so. My feet are going numb. Why did I choose to sit in this position? I don't make wise life choices. All the time. I'm already at 16 minutes. What? Sometimes I lose track of time. And I mean, like, making sound videos is hard for me just because, like, I'm only doing one thing and I have major ADD. So, like, this is me talking and braiding, so it's like, okay, I can do that. But when it comes to, like, doing a sound video, I'm only doing one thing. And so my brain's like, let's do something else now. But I think, because I just started listening to Welcome to Night Vale again, which is a podcast that is super awesome. It's like an old-timey radio show that's super sci-fi, and it's great. But if I listen to that with headphones while doing stuff that's, like, not talking, I could totally do a longer video than, like, 5 minutes. Because, like, I've tried to do sound videos before, and then I get bored, and they're, like, 2 minutes long. So I don't upload them, because I'm like, that's pretty pointless. I didn't finish my monster this morning, so I'm starting to fall asleep. What time is it? It's like 10:30. 10:30 in the morning. I have an appointment at, like, 11:30, so I hope I stop recording by, like, 11:15. Because the appointment's at my house, but the doorbell's gonna ring and people are gonna be loud, so I hope I finish recording the video after this by like 11:15, because otherwise I'll have to do another take and I'll, like, cry. Another thing about this box, like, you can see the colors change. Like, right here it was red, yellow, blue. I ran out of red, so I went to pink, yellow, blue. And then I ran out of yellow, so now I'm white, pink, blue. So yeah, like, I like that look, but you can change your thread yarn as much as you want to get different color combinations. I just happen to like the way this looked, but you can do it, like, so that the ones going horizontally are, like, complementary colors to the ones going vertically. Like, I could have done braids of just blue and then just white and whitish colors, but I liked this better for some reason. Well, I thought I'd like it better. Now I don't, but I don't care. I'm almost done with it anyway. Because you'd think horizontally, because you're going around the box, would take longer, but it doesn't. It's going vertically, because when you go vertically, you have to put all these holes in and tie more knots. So it takes way longer. Like, in 20 minutes, what is this? I've gone around almost once. I would have gotten, like, 2 of these done. Like, it's so slow. But I like projects and I like crafting. Sorry, you probably just heard me move again. I like crafting and I like doing projects. So, like, I don't mind how long this takes, but if, like, you don't have patience, like, I don't blame you, because this takes a while. Oh, yay, at work, I just remembered at work yesterday, my mom's hairdresser's daughter came in, and she's kind of psycho, but, like, in a 12-year-old way, because all 12-year-olds are kind of psycho. And Kylie, that's her name, used to be Kyle, and she didn't know I worked at Forever 21, and then she found out, and she was just, like, so excited. And so she came in yesterday, and she was so happy to see me, and it was really cute. Oh, crap, I just said the name of my store. Oh, well, if you don't know my last name, you can't stalk me. My feet are numb. This is gonna suck when I get up to walk, because I'm gonna have pins and needles like everywhere, and I'm not gonna like it. Speaking of pins and needles, I should probably pick up my sewing project I have going on in the basement. It's been a couple weeks that I've left it out at this point, so I should probably eventually pick that up. And probably what I'm gonna do for this box, because you see how there's some holes in the weaving, because that's just how it happened. I'm going to just tie little knots around the box. I don't care. Get creative. Creativity is fun. I'm probably not going to sing after all because I sing a little bit louder than whispering, and then, like, the audio would be all messed up because then it would be loud and soft, and stuff like that wakes me up when I'm trying to sleep with ASMR, so I'm not going to do that to you guys. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but in my last video I told you it was snowing. It's now like 60 degrees out. Like, what the fuck? I think we've killed the planet. People are like, oh, save the planet. I'm like, I think it's a little late for that. Sorry to burst your bubble, but we already screwed it up. But I know I'm totally hitting the microphone with the arm like nonstop. I am so sorry. I will try and go back through my audio and lower that sound. So yeah, like if I did sing, I could lower the sound, but that takes effort, and I don't want to do that. Because, you know, in singing, like, it goes up and down in volume anyway, so. I don't know if I've linked my Bandcamp on this channel before, but if you guys want to see it, I can give you the link again. I have another song to put up there soon, once I finish fixing it, because I have most of it, but some of it has to be changed because it sounds super lame. So, so I just have to fix that, and then I'll be uploading another song onto my Bandcamp. No one looks at my Bandcamp anyway, though. And I don't blame people. Like, I'm not anything special. Like, I play the ukulele and sing. I mean, the only special part about that is I'm an alto, too. And most chicks are, like, soprano ones. Like, that's the average vocal range for a female. But I'm an alto, too, which is, like, Amanda Palmer. She can go a little lower than me, but I can still go pretty low. So, I mean, that's kind of special. And it's kind of special how well I can play my ukulele, because I don't kind of just futz around with it with 3 chords. Like Amanda Palmer suggests in her song Ukulele Anthem. But it's like, she says, just limit yourself to 3 chords and do not practice daily. And the thing is, I didn't practice. I just kind of went for going horizontally around it. I've just been doing 3 lengths of this so that it's not too long to braid. Anyway, she says limit yourself to 3 chords and do not practice daily, and I never practiced, actually. Never. The way I learned all the chords is I just slowly, one at a time, learned new ones, because, like, I'd be really wanting to learn this song. I love the song, I love to sing it, but there's, like, an E7 minor, and I'm like, well, shit. And, like, the sound of the chords, like, the name of them would sound daunting, and then I'd learn it, and it wouldn't be so bad eventually, and that's how I learned all these chords and kind of got really good at ukulele, just by having fun with it. Like, I didn't set out to get good at it or learn a lot. I just set out to learn songs that are fun to play and fun to sing, and I kind of ended up actually getting really good at it, which is awesome. It's totally awesome sauce. I said awesome sauce, or I tried to say awesome sauce at work yesterday, but I had migraine, so I said awesome sauceum to a customer, and they laughed. but I think they laughed in a good way, so that was good, I think. Yeah, like halfway through my shift, I had a migraine, but my bangs are really long, and it's my right eye that hurt the most, and that's the side my bangs are on, so I just use my bangs as an eye patch. Because I was like, I could buy a hat here because they're like $2 right now, but that's still money. So yeah, I just used my hair as an eye patch for the rest of my shift, and it was fine. It was actually pretty funny. Because I was walking around looking like an emo 8th grader, that's what I meant to say. 3rd graders aren't typically emo, that'd be a little young. But yeah, so I looked ridiculous because I had looked so cute. I had my hair in this little like half ponytail kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it, where it's not all your hair in a ponytail, just most of it pulled back, but not your bangs. I don't know. It's a thing that hair does, and it looked really cute, and I had a bow in it. Like, imagine me having a bow in my hair, but it was like blood red. So, but yeah, and then I had to take that off, or out, because the ponytail was making my migraine worse, and the store is bright as all fuck. Like, customers complain about how bright it is, but like, it's company policy, like, we can't do anything about how bright it is, and like, the music is so loud, but again, it's like company policy, and we can't do anything. So, I was like, towards the end, I was like, because they almost wanted me to stay to close the store, I was like, if I stay to close the store, can I put on sunglasses? And they're like, yeah, after the store's closed, but I ended up leaving before that. I have rambled about nothing relaxing, but I hope my voice, even though it's all grumbly right now, sounds somewhat relaxing. I'm going to go on to record the silent version of this now, and I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Oh, there we go.